asking myself, like, notwithstanding the other topic that's also very interesting, who owns the fucking internet? You know, how
No
can they
one.
even regulate that? Can they actually regulate the internet that they, you know, does the internet, if it's an international source, is that actually subject to national publishing laws? That's an interesting one, I think.
It's
Well, I saw that
difficult.
they want 28 Facebooks, 28 YouTubes, 28 sort of those things in each one. Each one, because in Portugal, we would have to change our whole constitution
You
because
mean
a lot of
nationalized
things.
internet? Is it nationalized internet like in
No. The
Pakistan,
internet is
China?
free. We have a lot of really strict privacy regulations. So they can't really investigate if we type what German considers or Sweden considers hate speech. We can do it here, as long as
Yeah.
we don't incite violence. We can criticize with really harsh terms, and they can't. Our privacy is protected.
Yeah, it's
So
posing a couple of questions. I mean, 28 different Facebooks. I mean, obviously, one thing is the practicality of it. You know, would you if you I have relatives in Germany and England. So would you not be able to follow your family in another country? Would it be like completely compartmentalized? And if it's not the case, then how would you police that the Scottish blogger who posts his pug dog listening
yeah,
to Nazi broadcasts
Count Dankula, Count
Yeah,
that
Dankula.
he
Yeah.
thank you.
that he follows the German law of like, oh, but you can't show the symbol because it's a hate symbol, you know. How would you enforce this? You would have to leave it to you know, you would either have to completely cut off and say, okay, Germans cannot see English Facebook. It's just completely cut off. You know, it's just
For example,
facebook.de. And the customers wouldn't like that. They would just basically stop using it. I think they would just
Yeah.
go migrate to a different platform. And the other one is, if you don't do it like that, then you'd have to automate it, because you couldn't just enforce it. You know, you couldn't have like it's even like within the EU. Just to give you another example, it is really hard to enforce things like the social security or something like that. If you've paid rent, if you've paid not rent, sorry, like for your old age pension, you paid like PSI or whatever it's called in your country, in another country, and then you move, then that's not just gonna be automatically counted towards your entitlements in the new country, even if you live in the new country like for 20 years. You have to go back and do it separately, and there's no harmonizing law. There's two completely different laws in both countries,
Yeah.
and like there can be regulations that say, oh, you have to have something. Haven't my wife, because she's a nurse, you have to have it signed by this certain type of ministry for something, you know, nurse board. But in Germany, there's no nurse board, so you bring them something that looks official and has a German stamp on it, and then they say, okay, we'll accept that, although there isn't actually a thing. You know, there is actually no legislation. There's no legislation that is kind of harmonized across Europe, and I don't think it's possible. You know, so how are you going to do that with like broadcasting or like?
they
publishing
want to
one law?
enforce, or Germany wants, and the EU want to enforce really draconian. I don't know how Portugal is really really weird. Portugal follows that the general EU guidelines, except that we prefer to pay the fines and not enact a lot of. We're still really way behind in many of the actual transposing of the laws into our laws. We are getting fined left every month, every year, a hell of a lot of money.
Mm. I don't think they thought it through. You know, would they have a blacklist of words like words you can't use, and that have to have that that also have to have that translated into all the languages, the 28 languages. So you rub out a lot of words. Like, you know, just blacklist a lot of stuff, like not just symbols, not just like, you know, a swastika or something, like loads of stuff, you know. It's just crazy. But I think it would lead to, if there was like legislation that would try to enforce that, then that would lead to, you wouldn't really have it sustainable. It wouldn't be like commercially viable to a company like Facebook to manually enforce it. So you'd have a lot of bots and algorithms that would kind of have to enforce this, you know, kind of flagging people after using the wrong word 3 times, you know, and maybe putting them into a timeout zone or something. It would all become very awkward and very kind of unpractical.
Absolutely, yes. You know? Absolutely. It would be so much of a hindrance. The companies will start losing money, and they'll ultimately say, "Fuck it, we're pulling out. You can't be on." Or they'll block countries, for example. If I was
Exactly.
the owner, if I was the head of Google, I'd just say, "Nope, you're not having it. We're blocking you. We don't want your business." And then what will happen to that country? It'll be isolated.
Well, you wouldn't have to do it as Google, because I think they try to push through some legislation that says that if you show search results, then you're responsible for the contents that you are linking, and that's something that wasn't actually pushed through, as far as I know, on a legislative level. So you're not responsible for the links. You know, in Germany they kind of tried that. They had actually they had a huge wave of Abmahnungen of like what's the term, where they kind of try to penalize people for sharing links to hosted music. It was just like after Napster went down, and that whole thing was actually illegal. They used like harvested emails for it. there was a huge fine against the actual barrister, or like the company that did that, you know. But so that's something that's not enforced, that like you're responsible for the content of every link, because it's not practical. It's practically not possible, especially like if you have millions of links. But maybe not. Maybe Google isn't a good example, but like Zuckerberg and Facebook is a good example. They're already kind of committed to that. You know, that they say that they'd take responsibility for hate speech, and then there's this law about the take it down within 24 hours, or you pay you owe 50,000 fine.
Yeah, but it's also
you have to kind of automate.
It's also a lot
shit,
of based
you know,
on
like
what they want to happen, not what is going to happen. To be honest.
Yeah. Because ultimately, companies will just say, "No, you're not worth. You are not worth our business. We are losing money. We just block you. We'll continue in other countries."
Yeah, but you're optimistic. I mean, you've seen the YouTube Heroes program, and there is stuff that's being flagged down. I think that just what they do is just okay, we'll let the community regulate it. The community can decide what's harmful content. They can say, okay, that's hateful, and we just make it like a majority thing. Like if there's 10 people flagging the video, we'll just take it down. We'll just say, well, if 10 people say it's hateful, it's hateful. And they're already using this tactics in India. Like the official, like was it India? It was some Asian country.
China does it.
Yeah, I think China. They have kind of a squad of people who flag stuff, you know. So it's like a bit like YouTube Heroes, just organized, you know. They just kind of band together. Okay, 100 people flag this video, and then that content is just gonna be buried because it's, you know, it's fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. But you said I'm optimistic. No, I'm fucking fatalistic. I know things are gonna happen. Well, I know, quote unquote.
Well, the question is how.
Exactly. I can see long-term trends, and one of the long-term trends is, firstly, the European Union is not going to last 5 years more. The way it's going, It
Yeah,
will
we'll
not
see.
last 5 more years. It'll break up. The way they're pressuring Hungary and Poland to accept migrants, and the people in Hungary and Poland are not going to accept them. They will kill them if they get there. It'll be on the European Union's hands if the people of Poland and Hungary get so fucking fed up about those migrants that they will kill them. So it'll be on their hands.
There is that risk. That is true.
Yeah, it'll happen. So if they want to insist, they are threatening Poland with fines. Poland will say fuck you, we will not pay, and then what? They cut off the European Union subsidies. Go for it. We have now the Silk Road. Right, China is making the Silk Road. The European Union and most of the Western countries and of Europe and so on don't even fathom what that means. The Silk Road directly to China with Russia. The trade bloc of China and Russia together, pulling in the eastern countries of Europe. What will happen to the western countries of Europe if they continue as they are now?
They'll all go into debt, I'd say.
They will go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's all about debts. We're all gonna sell up to China. That's what money is.
Those people are, oh man, I see those trends. I hope I'm wrong. God damn it, I hope I'm wrong. But they're there. If anyone just looks at them, they're there. They're plain. And it's look what the BBC just threatened in their fucking terms of conduct. I saved the PDF. They said that if people say nasty things about the BBC, they will contact their employers.
Yep.
And the police. What the fuck's that?
What if they say nasty things about the BBC? Is it?
Yeah. God damn it! Why doesn't if I was Theresa May, I'd pass a bill to cut or end the television licenses. And then BBC, you're on your own. Now you can do whatever you want. You're not getting any more public money. Fuck you. They used to be fucking good. The BBC documentaries, I have them on a separate folder. They are perfect documentaries. And now they're fucking shit. God damn it.
The standards. It's when you start playing around with quotas, that's when the quality suffers.
Jesus Christ!
I
stopped.
See, but I don't think it's even something to do with multiculturalism. I don't think that's a problem in itself. It's more the thing about the quotas. It's that enshrining of low expectations, and that's not something I would even pin down to a particular kind of ethnic group or anything. It's just we take anybody. We don't really care. If they fit a certain identity, we'll take them even if they're shit, and that's a mistake. You could also say, oh yeah, we love taking whatever migrants or whatever, but they have to be good. You could just
exactly. High.
In all fairness, you don't even have to care if they're good or not, because that's subjective. You do, however, have to care whether they are going to abide the law or not, and if they do not, that's the end of it. You should stop right there. These are the rules. These are the laws. Are you going to listen to them? No. Fuck off.
Yeah, but that's another thing. We're talking about how quotas are employing people in the companies, in public companies. You can't have quotas. You can have quotas, but you first have experience and competence, and then do we have two people, for example, they have the same exact qualifications. Okay, the white guy will put you on hold, but don't go away. We have to take this guy. The next turn, you have the job, for example, because they're always opening and closing stuff. No, you have a super qualified white guy, and you have a banal gender studies major who is all the rainbow of Olympics, that shit Olympics, what do you call it? God. Oppression Olympics, he's the top of the cake of that, but he's absolutely shit. He gets the job. No. You get the best people in the job in the thing. It doesn't matter what they. If you put them in all of the people, get them good education, the best ones. Of course, doesn't matter what fucking color they are. Oh, Jesus.
That got you off.
Real Raven, I boosted you as much as I can, but people are still saying you're too soft. So
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And now, is that better?
People, is this better?
Is this better? Test. Okay, cool.
Yes, I hope it is.
I was just kind of spying in the chat. Who's Olenska? Olenska with the wrench. Is there anybody else who wants to come in? Two people who would have talked about the mental issues and would have been
Which
able
we
to
haven't been
have
talking
left.
about since we started. So
yeah, exactly. So, but I don't know. I'm probably not the only one, but am I the only one who's affected? The only one who's mental.
those are your words, my friend.
And as an anecdotally. This is anecdotal. This is not worth considering in a statistical, factual data point or whatever. I was close to having a depression. My wife has a depression, so I know the symptoms. I can see the symptoms. But last 2015, November 2015, I was so close to fucking having a really heavy depression, and I discovered Twitter. Honestly, this is no joke. I discovered Twitter. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
I was always sad. I was always angry. Yeah. Honestly, that's what. It made me laugh. I started debating creationists from November to about December, and I got fucking bored because it's the same argument. But it made me laugh. That's what. And also, I drank a lot. But both things that sort of helped me, especially the laughter. I due to shit neighbors. Even now, though, I still get tense when they come back from France to here. So I was so close to having a full mental breakdown. And Twitter is anecdotally. This is fucking no. You're wrong. It made me laugh. It broke the cycle because I was always sad. I was always nervous. I was always sad, and the stupidity that I saw in Twitter broke. Because that's isn't it right, Modwayne, that you need to break a cycle to begin leaving the or not or getting better in depressions and that. You need to
yes, you have to fall before you can stand up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have to choose to feel better. Oh,
no. That's a misconception. No, you do not have to choose to feel better. You have to choose that you want to change your current predicament, though. But it's not as simple as choosing to feel better. That's an oversimplification. I will never use that because that's not true. But you have to recognize that you are the one that needs to change something. And yeah, sure, everyone can come on. If you have him, then send him.
Yeah, I don't have a direct. How can I contact him? I have to find out. He's in the chat.
Okay, Augusto, how can we contact you? You know what? Fuck it. Drop it in the chat. I don't care.
Wait.
What, do you want me to drop the? Do you want me to drop the stream in the chat? Is it?
Yeah, I don't mind. Go ahead.
Let me just try something. I can probably invite him via his. There's his handle. See, I'm just gonna get him on Twitter. I'm just gonna follow you. Augusto, I'm gonna follow you on Twitter, and then I'm gonna get you.
I'm sorry, people. Where is Tom? Tom hasn't been around since August. I have no idea how he's doing. I hope he's doing well.
Yes, we really miss him. Yeah.
Augusto, is your? I'll ask him in the chat. Is if his handle is current year trademark. Let me see. I don't get that. Like, why do you have so complicated Twitter names? People always have fun with their Twitter names, and you don't know who the fuck you. He said he forgot it. Are you?
Well,
I don't know what my Twitter name is.
That is awesome.
Seriously,
I'm going to
just
follow you.
Just
I am
drop
going
it
to
in the live chat. I don't mind.
Augusto, you don't have to follow me, but I am definitely going to follow you, man. I hope it's the second one. 'Cause that is awesome.
I can't invite people. I don't think I have the power to do it. There is no spoon. You drop it. You have to add that. Okay. You have to click that add person, and then you get a short link. And don't drop the whole hangout link.
It's not that one. It's not the second one. So let's try the first one.
I don't have that. You see.
Oh, here we go. Is his name current here? Augusto, is your name current here? I've got him. Then it's the first one.
That's him.
Follow.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
So about depression. Very good. Now let me just get started on something, because when we were talking offline, you mentioned gender dysphoria, and and if you remember what I said about it is it's the in one, it's the in mental health issue that everybody talks about. And
funny enough, not. The thing is, people talk about gender dysphoria, but not a lot of people talk about gender dysphoria. They only talk about the romantic idea of it.
All right, okay, they're LARPing.
Yes.
I think Pinochet Augusto has joined us.
Yeah, yes.
Can I have a free helicopter ride?
I kind of still owe you a free helicopter ride, to be honest.
Awesome.
We have met on Twitter before, and it was in a situation I don't want to talk about, because you'll be like, ah.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Do you remember that weird fucking thread that had, I think Christiosity was in it and shit, where Justicar was talking about...
Oh, yes, Justicar. When I had engaged him, I did a bit of a... was that one where I...
child thing or something close to that?
Where I did a logical debate with him on logic, which I'm quite good at.
I don't remember that debate. No? I remember it might have been a stream that led up to that, though. But
no, it wasn't on the stream ever with Justicar. It was a tweet exchange with Justicar.
It was like he was trying to argue that logically you can't say what could ever possibly be in the future in terms of biology. And you're like, no, I'm not having any of that shit, motherfucker.
Wait, possibly, man. I sometimes forget a lot of shit when I argue. I forget the argument.
Absolutist argument to say that.
Oh yeah, he was. Yes, I think I remember that one. Yeah, he was. Yeah, was that
non-absolutist argument? It was kind of abstract, but it was logically consistent, I guess.
Well, we were both actually. I went back to it, and we were both logically consistent. So that's why I like Justicar. I really like him because
he's brilliant.
Yeah. I just remember I made a weird drunk analogy. And you're like, nah, you're getting muted for a week. Like, oh, shit.
What, you muted me?
No, you muted me.
I only.
No.
Oh, did I? I gotta go back and see.
No, you don't.
That one. Because I sometimes I mute people. I never ban anyone except one guy. I will never. I've revealed that to my really close friends. I never ban anyone, but I mute people for a little bit because either if I'm really in a shit mood and I don't want to argue, or the arguments are absolutely crap, and I may have muted you when I was in the bad mood that I just didn't want to bother arguing, because I do that a lot. Yeah.
We had a skirmish on another Twitter, or I had a skirmish with a friend of yours that kept spamming retarded shit at me. Just nonsense. I mean, it wasn't like dialogue. It was just nonsense for a while. And I remember telling him that I blocked him, and he's just like, blockings are faggots. So it's kind of been both ways now.
I don't know. I will not accept responsibility for anyone that God, I'm too irrelevant to have followers that do that. Jesus. I take the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, I don't even care about Twitter anymore. I've been banned so many times it doesn't even matter.
So
I love
what's
it
your
because
favorite?
it's. Go on. I'll
Sorry,
shut up now.
what's your favorite mental condition to talk about? I think mine would be anxiety, anxiety disorder, because it's really everywhere. It's fucking
Yeah.
everywhere, and it's
that one's a
fucking me
bitch.
over more so nowadays than my depression when I had it. You know,
Yeah.
I used to have chronic depression, and I treated it with Lustral for a couple of years, and then I got off it, and that was fine. And now I have anxiety disorder, which is kind of it's kind of crippling, you know.
Are you talking about social
Yeah.
anxiety? Or just like anxiety in general?
Is it social when you're scared of talking to your boss?
Yes.
Can be.
Okay, well then
I
it's
would say
social.
that's definitely 100% social anxiety. I don't know
But
if that
it's
doesn't
weird,
get
you know,
different.
because like I don't have social anxiety talking to you guys, you know, I'd like to, you know, it's kind of, yeah, there's nothing, you know, really dependent on it, you know, or like shit posting or whatever, you know, or even if
You know what,
somebody
though?
would call me your idiot or whatever, you know,
Like,
it's
I
more
get
like
that
with
social
people that mean. Sorry.
Yeah, I get that social anxiety even coming into streams talking with people like, oh shit, we're live. I don't like this. It's fucking making me anxious. But
Hmm.
yeah, I hate that shit. It's just kind of a
It's-
symptom of the autism, though. Fantastic.
Doesn't have
What's worse, us listening to you and talking to you directly, or the thought of that there's a huge audience of currently 8 people online listening
No,
to you?
it's a mixture of everything. Just like, I'm like kind of anxious a little bit to go into even like voice chats and discords for the first time until I get used to the people.
I don't even go there. I mean, yeah,
I'm-
Discord, yes, but only text. I can't talk. It's weird. I know Modwayne and I know Carlos, and I wouldn't have jumped on this stream like you did without having talked to them before. I wouldn't. Which
I
is,
have that problem with real life people. I'm not. I don't really have. And my bosses. God, I'm anxious when I talk to them.
Mhm.
I sweat profusely, and I get really along with my first level boss and my second level boss. I don't talk to my third level, the top boss, which is the Lord Mayor of my town.
So the
My
first
ultimate
question,
top.
the first question you should then ask yourself when you have a problem with anxiety: what is it that scares you?
Good question.
Basic
It's not.
social interaction.
It's just. I haven't really thought about it because I've improved a hell of a lot, and again, talking to everyone on the social media with you guys, I have improved a lot. Many things. Many things. I've improved my monologue, which I used to be shit at. Now I've done monologues for an hour explaining archaeological shit. When I used to be bloody hell, I'd stutter and all that shit. But now I've improved myself. I don't know. I'm not trying to. I just comes natural. But I still get nervous whenever my boss rings. And the first thing I think of, oh shit, what have I done? And I said, I haven't done anything. That's the second thing. First, what have I done? Then I said, wait, I haven't done anything. What do you want? It's probably because I have a. It's probably because I have a really deep respect to authority figures, and it is almost an awe type. I'm almost in awe of them.
so what kind of
That may be.
relationship did you have with your father?
I love my father. An awesome relationship, man.
Yeah, I'm
that's
not that much a fan of what do you call it? Oh, the name now. Sorry, can't remember the name.
Freudian psychology,
Freudian
Yeah, no,
psychology.
it has a name.
the Jungian model.
Did you save
Yeah.
your father from the belly of the whale yet if you like him so much, though?
Oh no, my
Dr.
father.
Peterson, you're here.
Hello, Dr. Peterson. No, my
Your
father.
condolences.
My father, I admire him for everything he's done. He's a hard worker. He was an illegal immigrant in France from Portugal. So there you have it.
But oh fucking hell! Sorry.
I'm not an anchor child though. I was born in Portugal.
But look at it. Look at it from an anxiety point of view. Anxiety is basically something that prevents you from moving into a certain direction, doing certain things. So, what is it? What is it that blocks you from doing what you want to, or what you think you want to do? And usually, it's anxiety.
I can answer that.
Oh,
Yeah, I can answer that. It's my I'm very, very timid. I'm very introverted. My personality is primarily an introverted personality. I can see that in my son as well. But because he
no. I'm sorry. What you're now doing is you're explaining why.
I am not fucking timid.
But that's the explanation of why. But you haven't told me what you're afraid of. What is it you think that? And that's the whole thing.
Yeah, isn't the $1 million question here?
So that's the whole thing. If you suffer from anxiety, I'm not going to say, oh, you should just ignore your anxiety. That's bullshit. But you should try to figure out, what is it that worries me? What is it that scares me? What is it that...
I would know that with bosses, it would be something like imposter syndrome. Okay, that's just another buzzword, but it's basically the feeling that one is that I'm like inadequate, that I'm not like good enough, for delivering whatever is asked for, and that's a really concrete kind of a fear, that you kind of
used to be that as well, yeah.
No. This is one moment, please. This is very concrete. This is a very good example. You are scared that you will not be good enough. Yeah. Okay. So that's something but those are things you can actually work with. So stop calling it an anxiety. Look at the specific situation in which the anxiety happens, and then train on that. Try to get. They have a nice term for it. It's cognitive behavioral therapy.
I have, like I said, I have improved now. As the more older I get, the less I don't care.
But let me finish on this though, because as I said, cognitive behavioral therapy. Once you know what it is that you are afraid, then you can start looking at what actually happens. Not what you fear, not what you feel, but what actually happens. For example, am I good enough to make, I don't know, you're making a song. Real Raven, I know you do a lot with music, you're making a song. I am 100% sure that, maybe not lately, but back in the days, people would come to you and ask you, oh, wow, you're really good at this. Can you do this for me? And that you would go like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm good enough.
Yeah.
Even though they came to you because they say you're really good. So who are you to say you're not good enough then?
Yeah. Well, it's not so much with music because I'm only getting started with that. But maybe I would have, like that people would come to me. But okay, that's just an example, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
But I really find it interesting, for me as a long-term depression sufferer, that you mention cognitive behavior therapy, because that's what ultimately gave me the tools to get off the medication, but I needed the medication first, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
but medication is to help. Medication is not the solution, but it's a step in the direction.
It's a crutch. It's like a crutch. But I didn't like what it did to me, so I got off it, eventually.
Yeah,
but,
fair enough.
Cognitive behavioral therapy in my case was like, it's a lot of, I think part of it is obviously cognitive, is behavioral therapy. It sounds like something mechanical you do, but part of it, of that therapy would be, at least if you have a good therapy, in my experience, it was that the therapist will make you ask the right questions to yourself. So it's not even, I mean, yes, they start you off with some like basic questions like, how do you feel today, how anxious are you, how depressed are you, scale from 1 to 10, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you start telling maybe about your past, whatever, about and you start to kind of I think what you really find out about is what motivates all that, the kind of the motor behind that. So like I found out like that I'm very critical to myself, and that it's something that I kind of got from like early childhood, and that maybe the bar is a little high, it's my own pressure, so that was kind of one really important, and you get exercises where you write down, you kind of verbalize the problems, you kind of make them concrete, and it's really like that. A good therapist won't give you any answers. All the answers that are given to you have to be given by yourself. It's just literally, you ask yourself, you answer yourself. The therapist does not know. What?
Psilocybin mushrooms, man. Trip on shrooms one time. And I'm not saying that as some sort of fucking hippie or something.
Mm-hmm.
My friend is really fucked up, has super severe depression, has been electroshock therapied by some rich Jewish woman paying for it. Like, he's been through the shit. And about a week ago, he took what Terrence McKenna would call a hero dose of shrooms. And he was alone in his apartment, and he relayed to me about 2 hours later that the shrooms were talking to him and telling him to stop doing drugs and to fucking get his life together and shit. Just like, he just laid out this formulaic plan to improve his life after 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, well, in all fairness,
he was lucky.
No, I don't think he was lucky. Maybe he just finally started listening to what people told him.
Yeah, it's all in your brain already. Your brain, whether you either consciously or subconsciously understand it, it's there.
There is this thing. I've been working as a social therapist for nearly 20 years now. I pride myself on average, never saying something new.
Uh-huh.
Everything I say, you probably at least heard once in your life already.
Interesting.
Now, hopefully, I'm the last one telling it to you and you finally pick up on it. But I'm not the first to tell you. If I am the first, then I really feel sorry for you, because then the people around you just either don't care about you or are utter crap themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or they don't have time to look at you. They're too preoccupied with themselves.
They're preoccupied with themselves. Not that they don't have time to look at you, because it's not that difficult to care.
Yeah. Depends. If you have severe problems yourself, then it may be difficult.
Has anyone else got this message? Like, in the last 15 minutes, I just kind of went back to my Twitter for a second, and I have this pop-up. We're updating our privacy policy. Soon you'll start to see more relevant tweets and ads based on visits to sites with Twitter content.
I can see that, but do you find that nefarious?
Like that. Yeah, that sounds really fucking nefarious.
But they keep.
I use Twitter Deck, so I don't. I use Twitter Deck, so I don't know what Twitter actually does. So fuck that.
I mean, at this point, I mostly just retweet because I'm tired of making new email accounts to make a new fucking shitposting account on Twitter.
Well, Carlos, do you think that Twitter is a front end? I mean, whether you use Deck or some other.
No, it's a back end. It's like
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of a front end you use. If they want to share your data, they share your data via some service.
They can share my data as they want. There's nothing there. This account, there's nothing there. They can fucking do whatever they want with it.
There's always something.
Yeah, me shit posting, of course. But they can't get my data from Portugal because it's illegal. And our ISPs are under obligation and they're under law, they can't share. unless I click on the cookies, and when I delete them, those adverts just don't come back until I accept them again. Sometimes I don't accept them. You know what I mean?
I feel bad for fat women that can't help but click on cookies.
I do. I don't care. They can suck my dick. They're not gonna get. If they want me, I don't care. I'm too fucking old for that to care anymore. So they can't get me fired, for example. They can't get me fired. They can't ruin my life. I don't have any money that they can take, and so on. What they're gonna do to me?
No,
If they put me in jail, I'll just shoot myself, for example. So no.
The whole thing with anxieties is the more you suffer from them, the more they seem real, and the more you start realizing that, well, fuck it, the less effect anxieties have on you. There will still be everyone has anxiety issues from time to time, and it's too easy to say, well, just step over it, because that's, well, yes and no, but it's not that simple. At the same time, okay, so you suffer from anxieties. That's a problem. What are you afraid of? And then start focusing on those things. And it's easier said than done. Obviously, if it weren't, I wouldn't have had a job. But at the same time, basically, that's what you need to do. When you have anxieties, try to focus on what your anxieties are and try to see how much of that anxiety is actually part of reality.
And then use the Canadian method and demand a law against anything that you're afraid of and create a safe space.
Safe spaces never helped anyone.
Yeah, they make it worse.
They make it worse. That's the thing with walls. Walls are not only meant to keep something out, they are also meant to keep something in.
But that's one of the reasons why, like Jordan Peterson has such problems, because he genuinely wants to, I think he wants to help people, and people don't want to be helped. They want to be kind of, they used to be, they want pity almost, you know. I want pity.
I understand that, yeah.
I don't do pity. I don't do pity at all. I've been working in social healthcare, as I said, for most of my adult life. I do not do pity. If you come to me for pity, you're shit out of luck. You want help? I will try to help you, but I will not hold your hand.
When you talk about pity, though, it's kind of one of those it's one of those things that I kind of sickly understand, right? Because I know exactly the sorts of steps I need to take to better myself, and I just, every once in a while, I feel like I just want pity. I don't want to get any better. I just want someone to say that they feel bad for me or give me attention or some shit like that.
I don't mind giving people attention, because there are plenty of ways to give people attention. But if they come to me because they feel bad and they want me to say, oh yeah, you're such a poor little whatever. No, fuck it. You're a person, own it. Now, there are problems. Those problems are definitely hard. I'm not going to say they're not hard, but you do not deserve pity. You deserve support.
We need to all be sorted.
You deserve support. You need people to stand next to you and say, you know what? I'll be there for you. But I will not feel sorry for you, because feeling sorry for you will not help you. Feeling sorry for someone makes them complacent. You do not want to be complacent. It doesn't matter what you do, but do something. Being complacent makes you do nothing. Hell, even if you're making the wrong moves, make a move. But not making a move, that will never change anything.
Being stagnant, that's the worst thing, is it?
Stagnant is the worst still, yeah.
It's death.
It's death. So I'd rather see you make a mistake than not make a move at all. And I don't feel sorry for anyone. I'll be there to help you, but I will not feel sorry for you. Because if you need pity to move, then you're not worth it. And the thing is, most people with anxiety, they recognize the fact that they are worth it. Most people with depression are still somewhere deep inside realizing they are worth it. Now, if I'm starting to feel pity, then I'm taking away a little bit of that self-value. And that will never happen. Not by me, anyway. I can understand people having a hard time. I really do. But I will not feel sorry for you. I can feel sorry for the situation you're in, but I will not feel sorry for you. I hope that point is I made clear why. I tried to make clear why. I hope I did.
No. Perfect, man. That's exactly yes.
So, as an admin on Jordan Peterson's personal Facebook group, I think I can get him on here.
Wow.
Oh,
More than
really? Oh,
No,
wow,
I'm a filthy
yeah.
fucking liar. I'm sorry to everybody.
Yeah, well, he would still be.
It's a
He
good
would
lie,
still
though.
be
That
welcome.
was great.
I'm already.
I like it.
I am
Get him on.
triggered. I am triggered.
No,
That was pretty
Listen.
good. I like it.
You can't
Yes.
get him here. Fair enough. Doesn't change the fact that he's still welcome.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could potentially get him on in the
He can
future.
come
It
too.
just take a while.
Yeah, it might work eventually. No, we're not big enough. I mean, he's been
If you
over
say it.
to several.
It's not even that, because seriously, this Facebook group that I'm in, he does converse with people all the time,
Oh yeah,
and his children do too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It's
that he
just a
does.
media post group.
But he is, in all fairness, he is the sort of he's not a psychiatrist, he's a psychologist, and he's the sort of psychologist I can have respect for. Now, don't get me wrong, I work in mental health care. I'm a sociotherapist, I'm not a psychologist. I want to train to be a psychologist, but there's one thing holding me back. You know the problem with psychology? It's not a science. It's a philosophy.
Is psychiatry a science?
Didn't know that.
Psychiatry is a science, yes.
I'm
Psychology
not really
is
familiar with the two. Could you explain that?
Well, a psychiatrist is a doctor. A psychologist is a therapist. A therapist works with, I'm going to give you ideas and I'm hoping that these ideas will help you, which they can, don't get me wrong.
And a psychiatrist gives you meds.
A psychiatrist can give you therapy or medication. And medication have basically a chemical substance to them which will have absolute function.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the right
though-
one. I wanted to talk to that a little bit actually, because it's not an exact science either. Because oftentimes, like not maybe with depression, because there are pretty good medications, and you can try like 2 or 3, and you find a good one. But with bipolar disorder, it's really hit and miss, and you probably have to change it also. My sister was on lithium for a long time, and then she had to go off it because she wanted a child, and she got IVF, you know. And she, after that, she never got the right like medication, and she basically had an episode when she was at my place, and I don't think she ever recovered from it. So that was like a couple of years back, and 1.5 years later she killed herself. So it's and
sorry.
I think it's medication, you know. It's a problem of the medication more so than, because like bipolar is extremely hard to like deal with for, like, you know, the people that your family or whatever. It's very hard to deal with. You
Yeah.
know, people just don't know what they're doing. It's just
That's
very, I don't know.
that's one of the scary things when it comes to medication, especially for depression and people with the suicidal tendencies, so to speak. The medication they get often
Makes it worse.
increase the chances of suicide. It also helps them get away from suicide once they are, but it also inhibits some of the.
You know what, though? I don't think psychiatrists do any less guesswork than psychologists. I mean,
No.
the psychiatrists will take basic symptoms that you describe to them, and they will give you medication, sure, but
A psychologist will not give you medication. A psychologist is not allowed to give you medication.
Yeah.
A
but
psychologist is not a doctor.
it's all
Your
you
GP
trying
can
to
do it.
subjectively tell you them what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you think your symptoms are, and then they prescribe it thusly.
A psychiatrist can prescribe. A psychologist cannot This is a very important difference. This is why there is a difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. Psychology is a philosophy. There are a bunch of ideas that I think will help you. So if I can train you in certain way of thinking, I might be able to help you get away from certain negative thought processes. A psychiatrist is a doctor. They are trained in the medical sciences. Psychology is not a medical science. And this is from someone who does the work. Psychology.
My mom was one. She was in marketing research. You know,
Huh.
she was a trained psychologist.
Yeah.
But she didn't actually deal with like mental.
No,
Stuff.
that's okay.
It was
You
more
can
like
use psychology
market
for a lot of
research, yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
I mean, you have also educational psychologist. The Gatsad is, how do you call it? Evolutionary psychologist.
Oh yeah.
So there are lots of ways to go into psychology. Psychology, sociology, and philosophy are tied at the hip. Psychiatry is a science. It's a new science, so there are plenty of things that they learn even now, but it's a science. A psychologist is not allowed to give you medication.
I guess I don't really know as much about the guesswork of psychology, but holy shit, I've been to a few psychiatrists, man. And it all is just guesswork and a fucking fake white lab coat to me. They prescribed all sorts of crazy bullshit that just fucking ruined my life for almost half a year. Each time.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't know what diagnosis you had and what medication they gave. So yeah, they can screw you up. I've had kids with me that were given diagnosis, in my opinion, wrongful diagnosis, and therefore wrong medication based on that diagnosis. So yeah, that's a problem.
I guess the problem in my case, though, is like with autistic people, they are not good at expressing what they're feeling. It's like I just feel like me, so it's really hard to diagnose people if they have depression and shit.
No, the main thing with people with autism is that you need to not only talk to the autist themselves, but the people around them, see what they know, see what they see. I mean, the main group I've been working with the last 18 years are kids with autism. Carlos David in the chat, psychology is still massively important. I'm not saying it's not important. What I'm saying is it's not a science, it's a psychology.
You're not a science.
I'm not a scientist.
No, I was just, no.
No, this is, the thing is, the difference between science and philosophy is the fact of it. There is no hard fact when it comes to psychology. There are things that will help, there are things that will not. And those things are individual.
I just meant that as a completely throwaway shit comment.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
Carlos apparently also agrees with me. No, this is important because this is my job. And
I think Modwayne's autism wasn't able to detect that.
We need some personal sessions, dude. We can hash this shit out.
That's okay.
I can't provide any monetary things towards you, though.
Fuck it.
But if you could fix it, it'd be real cool.
Nah. The thing is, it's.
I know a guy called Dr. Lecter. He might be interested.
Yeah, sure. Animal by chance?
Yeah.
I don't have any chance.
Good dude. Did your human brain taste like chicken?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, that's probably bullshit. I was just saying it tastes like X. X being anything.
You know, the thing is, did you never eat brain before?
I mean, I held a woman down one time and ate into her scalp, but I couldn't quite pierce the skull.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's not the same thing. No, but
Okay.
not human brain, obviously, but sheep
Like
brain.
monkey brain.
Brains!
Brains.
Sheep brain.
Shit for brains.
Shit for brains.
Oh, come on. Don't be mean on the SJWs. Come on. Jeez, guys.
No, the latest meme I saw, shit for brains are not SJWs anymore. They're Antifa.
Antifa.
Yeah.
Same. They're the same thing, man. They're
Same
the
thing,
same.
yeah, same thing.
I thought they're just vacuum for brain. I think there's nothing in there, not even shit.
Well, how about mentally ill people that eat shit? Now that we're on this topic.
Actually,
No, please don't go down that route. No, don't do it.
what do you want now?
No, no.
I know someone who did that.
Coprophilia? Yeah.
He wasn't mentally disabled, though. He was, how do you call it?
Just sexually.
No. Intellectually. How do you call it?
Retarded?
Yeah, he was retarded, but you have a nice word for it, and I tried to remember the nice word. Fuck it. He's a retard. The
Disgusting,
literal form.
socially awkward, dysfunctional, sexual deviant.
No,
Something like that.
No, that's not it. No. He was a intellectual retard. He scored below 60.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that paints a dark picture.
That's like a pinhead. No, that's not the right word either. I don't know. I probably knew it at some stage.
Yeah, the retard is the best word for it. Fuck it, I don't care.
He got little tiny dinky brain.
Well, the size of his brain is not his. The size is not
Well,
his.
Colloquially
the
speaking,
synopsis.
Jesus Christ.
What? Hey, a moment ago you were talking about how my autism wasn't good enough, and now.
Whoa, I don't ever say anyone's autism isn't good enough. I don't know what you're
I
talking
said
about.
it. It's just not good enough to understand Pinochet's autism. They're not
Everyone's
compatible.
autism makes them perfect, unless they're like retardedly autistic. Because that's a different thing altogether.
Well, yeah, being retarded is quite different, and you have people with below 60 IQ, below 80 IQ, which can still be autistic, but yeah, then autism isn't their main problem. But you also have people with autism which have a normal IQ or even a high IQ.
I can't even believe you're gonna shitpost about black people like that. You goddamn racist.
Who's shit posting about black people?
I'm just fucking here to shitpost now. God damn it. I think I just died a little bit on the inside.
Well, you're shit posting and that's killing you?
Yes.
Then
Trust
stop
me, that will
shitposting.
kill a human person.
Maybe
Not an ape,
that's-
though. Apes shitpost all day long via flinging shit at each other.
I'm here. I'm listening, guys. Just in case you think.
Yeah,
I'm,
no one
I'm
is talking
absent,
at
yeah.
the moment, and I'm not sure what to say.
Oh, no, yeah. I went off on a retarded tangent there that I wish I hadn't. So
But-
it's just got kind of quiet for a minute there.
Yeah. So okay, let's
I
go
need to-
back. Let's go back to the topic of anxieties. Are any of you actually suffering from it at the moment?
Yeah, I am.
Yes,
Objectively.
as a high-functioning autist with social retardation, yes.
So, can you recognize in what field you have the feeling that you will be inadequate?
What do you mean by what field?
Which form of social interaction?
No.
So let's make it simple.
Autism.
The phone rings. Will you pick up the phone?
Fuck no. No.
Okay, so that's something. Then the next question would be, why not?
Because that shit on a subconscious level makes me anxious.
Fair enough. Why?
That's a good question.
That's
The
the only
$1 million question. It's the $1 million question, and I can't at this time answer that. I don't know.
Are you afraid you don't know how to answer the phone?
No. Because
Are
I
you
do
afraid-
answer it sometimes, but
Are you
it's,
afraid you get a question you don't know how to answer?
that is a fear I do have sometimes.
Okay. So what question would you fear that you cannot answer?
That's way too vague to answer.
I know.
Anything that I don't know or can't provide a.
And that's
I
a
gotta
very
come up with a
that's a
better.
very no. That's a very direct answer. So, what question are you afraid you cannot answer? The questions I don't know the answer to.
Yeah, that's
Things I don't know exactly what I need to do.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you something else. Can you fix my car?
No.
If I bring my car to you and I ask you to fix it, what will you tell me?
I'll tell you, let me have the keys to your car, dude. I can totally fix it. And then I'll go.
Really?
I'll go pick up hookers, and then I'll do a bunch of coke, and then I'll kill the hooker and put her in the trunk and drive it off the pier.
Okay, well that's one thing to go. What would your answer be, Raven?
To the car?
Yeah.
I would say it depends. I would say that if it's a broken tire, I can probably fix it. But if it's the motor, no, I can't.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you very simply. So if I bring my car to you, you say, "I'm sorry, I cannot fix that for you," right?
Probably more than likely, yeah.
Okay. So now someone calls you, you pick up the phone, and he asks a question you cannot answer. What is stopping you from saying, "I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that"?
I mean, nothing. If I'm already on the phone already, it's like, hey, can you fix my car? No. I don't know shit about cars, dude. You're asking the wrong person.
Right.
I'm an autist that likes
I know a hell of a
computers.
lot of cars, but I don't want to talk
You
about it.
know, I mean, I don't like answering the phone to a number that I don't know. I completely hate, like, especially when it's like, oh, it's a Dublin number. I don't know who's in Dublin. Who knows something about me in Dublin. I don't know anybody in Dublin, so it could be bad news or whatever. So
It could be.
there's a whole load of scenarios that you can invent in your head.
There are.
I think what he's
Are they-
getting at
You don't
seems
want
to be
find out,
that
like.
I
But
just
that
lost
there
my
are-
train of thought.
that there are a lot of prospects tied to an international call or a call of someone you don't know. I'm not going to deny. Yes, there are lots of prospects that can be part of it. Do you know what it will be?
No, you don't. You
Therefore,
only
are
know
you
that
then
you've-
the right person to decide this is going to be bad?
Yeah, but you can
No.
avoid it. You can avoid the bad
Yeah, he's
thing
a
about it.
socially avoidant person that doesn't want that
But-
call.
But then you're also avoiding eventual positive results.
Yeah, but that's the
That's
thing.
true.
I think that when you have anxiety disorder to a certain point, then you actually say, well, the risk isn't worth it, and there's nothing that's kind of positive anyway. You prefer the little positive things that you can manage and that you can control to the unknown positive that might encounter because of the risk. Because of the risks of being like
but
kind of
that's-
devastated or whatever.
But that's then holding you back.
Yeah, of course it's holding you back. That's the whole
you want to
point
be held
of
back like that?
anxiety disorder, right?
No, but do you want to be held back like that?
No, I don't think one wants it. I mean, the thing with the anxiety disorder is that how strong is the anxiety? If you can overcome it, you will still force yourself to answer the phone even if you hate it, and your heart may go like really fast and boom 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 and oh shit, I'm gonna die or something, but you do it anyway. But then I think there is those moments where the anxiety is so strong, where you're kind of vulnerable, and then you just can't deal with it. You just can't.
Therefore, you can train it, and therefore you need to train it.
Yeah, I suppose.
And how do you train it? By doing.
Yeah, I guess don't answer the phone. I'll do it. Do it again and again. Answer the phone again and again. It's a mechanical thing. It's a mechanical
only answer the
process.
phone again and again, but get someone you know and let them call you, even from a blocked
All right.
number or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, and if worst case scenario, someone asks you something that you simply do not know, because that's the main reason why you have the anxiety. You do not know what can come, and what if someone asks you something that you cannot answer. What will you do then?
That's not my problem. That's
I don't
That's
even.
not my. That's all. That's Pinochet's a problem. Mine is different. My problem.
I
is
don't
if-
think
if,
that's my problem either.
If somebody rings who I do know, a certain person or certain persons, that's different. So I'm not afraid of an unknown thing. I'm afraid of concrete things. And it's a lot of it has to do with being forced to be honest.
But who's forcing you to be honest?
Jesus.
Well, if you have a thing like let's say you have a deadline, for instance, okay, or you have a decision to make. Let's say, will you go out with me? Will you spend time with me, or not? Right? Then oftentimes you're kind of more afraid of answering like truthfully because of like you might like hurt that person, or you might just get like a bad feedback or whatever, than to lie. So that's one thing. That's one of those things. Or sometimes you're asked complex stuff like how do you feel, and you can't even answer that. A normal person would be able to answer that, but you can't answer it. It's because it's so complex, and if you start to answer it, you mightn't give the right answer because people expect like 2 sentences and not like whole spiel or something. So
Is that what people expect, or is that what you think people expect?
Well, it's experience, it's the experience that you can actually say the wrong thing in the first sentence, and you're especially when you're like not great with like verbalizing emotions, then you can really fuck stuff up by just saying the wrong thing, and it's actually like safer not to say anything. Just an experience thing. I mean, it's hard to. It probably sounds ridiculous to a like mentally like sane person, but it's. I think it's a lot of it is like about avoiding risks.
It is all about avoiding risk.
And like known risks. Like
I know.
being hurt or whatever.
I know. The thing is, though, that part of the things that you perceive as a risk, you need to look at again whether it really is a risk.
Mm-hmm.
If it's really something you should be afraid of, or something that you already know how to deal with.
Can you help me deal with my alcoholism?
I'm not in one stream. No, I can't.
Stop drinking.
I need you to. I need you to tell me that I need to submit to Jesus, because then I'm gonna laugh. But then I need you to have some good comebacks. That's all I need.
You need me to tell you to submit to Jesus. Do you know Jesus?
I need to submit to a higher power, but then you're gonna tell me to submit to a higher power, and I'm powerless over this vodka. So please help me.
I'm sorry, mate.
You just want.
Didn't I start this
that
stream?
you can. You just want.
I don't know how you
can
started
ignore,
this
right?
stream. That's the
Sorry.
thing.
You want an advice that you can safely ignore, right? But I don't think Modwayne's going
Exactly. That's exactly what I want.
Didn't I start
You
don't
some time
always get
ago?
what you want, but sometimes you get what you need.
You're not going to. I don't do sorry. Do you want to stop drinking? Fair enough. This is something.
I don't know if I want to stop.
I'm not going to try and tell
Start
you
smoking
that it's
instead.
something
Here, how
you
about
will help.
this?
Let's talk.
I will
about
tell you
marijuana
whether I
for a
want to
while.
stop drinking or not after I take this shot right now.
Yeah.
Well,
What's this old saying? I swear that I give up the drink if I can find a better way to get drunk.
I mean, pot will do it, but the combination of the two is fantastic.
I think you could do that. You could become sex addicted or something. I think that would give you
but then-
similar kind of amounts of whatever the brain drug is. That
Dopamine?
gives you dopamine. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help for socially retarded people, though. We're not having sex at all.
Well, buy a sex robot.
Shit, I used to be out till like 2 a.m. every night playing fucking pool at the bar, hustling pool tables, fucking Just being the life of the party. No, it's still socially retarded. Doesn't work.
You know that.
Let me tell
You
you.
know what Charles Bukowski said. He said that bars are
Yes, the
the
juice
school.
race for now.
No, he said that the bars are the schools of loneliness. That's what he said. So it's basically, if you want to be completely lonely and you want to learn how to do that, go to a bar. I think you can probably include the pool halls with that as well.
I always
can
get
be
Edgy
very
Sphinx and
lonely.
Bukowski mixed up.
Edgy Sphinx.
He's Polish.
No. Oh, I did not know that.
Charles Bukowski.
He's not. Yeah, not edgy.
Yeah.
Bang.
But yeah, no. The main question is, you know, it's even simpler than that. Is there something that you have a problem with? Because if you do not have a problem with it, does it need to be changed?
I think
That's a convenient excuse for my alcoholism because I'll tell people
There's-
I don't need to change it, but I do.
Yeah, but then you have a problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a problem with a lot of things, so.
but then that's the argument you should
Also an excuse.
focus on. I mean, if you have a problem with something, then yeah, that's the reason why you want to do something about it. If you don't have a problem with something, then do you need to change it? Is it going to need work? Well, that's
I'm
a
just
good
trying to
question.
get someone to go fund my helium tank so I can go out of this shit like champ.
why helium?
Helium's a great way to kill yourself, by the way, if anyone's wondering.
You just.
Yeah,
I wasn't, but I am curious.
Any gas that expel oxygen
Yep.
in the air, you can die of. Nitrogen's the same. If
Yeah.
you remove just pumping nitrogen without the oxygen, you die. All gases do that. Helium's not just. It just makes you laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, why not have fun if you're dying?
I suppose.
Listen to my voice. R.I.P.
And
Tell my
sound
kids
like
I love
Mickey
them.
Mouse while you're dying. Sound like Mickey Mouse while you're dying.
Well, because Mickey Mouse is a filthy anti-Semite.
Is he?
No, Mickey Mouse is
Yeah.
a cartoon. Come on, don't.
The ADL told me he literally hates Jewish people.
Well, no, that was Walt Disney, not Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
No, it was literally Mickey Mouse. He influenced Walt Disney with
Oh,
his
it was Mickey Mouse's fault.
weird,
All right, so
dark,
he was the
on-paper
anti-Semite.
curves.
Walt Disney was a Nazi, basically. Yes. He was actually a Nazi. He wasn't a neo-Nazi. He was born at the time where there were Nazis, the real ones, the ones in Germany. So, yeah. Same was Ford, the company, what's his name?
Ooh.
King Ford,
Henry Ford.
the founder of Henry Ford. Thank you.
Henry Ford.
So, yes.
Gas embolism. Helium is more lethal than carbon dioxide. NCBI.
Well, there are plenty of ways to die, so that's not a problem. The true trick
Oh,
is
that
how
took
to
a
stay
dark
alive.
turn.
Yeah, that happens.
Somebody's pinging me. Oh. What's that creepy noise?
Someone's cat or something.
A cat
It sounds-
Can you really
it
hear
sounds
that?
like a string.
You hear like a.
I thought it was a hamster being strangled.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta mute for a second and then go listen to the stream to make sure that's that fucking bird in my living room squawking.
It's a bird. It is
Probably
a bird
the bird.
squawking.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's a
bird.
bird.
Birds should not be in the house.
It is a cockatoo, and it's one of 10 different birds in my home.
A
Yeah,
cocksucker.
That's the one. Ah,
Yeah, that's what he does. The other cockatoo we have, though, can bark like a dog. It's pretty cute.
Oh, cool.
Okay, no wonder you.
We've got a
need
cynical
alcohol.
parrot.
I
Yeah,
feel
we've
for
got
you,
it.
bro.
No, literally, because. And you just hit the nail on the fucking head. Because I get up at 3 a.m. to go to work every day. Those fucking birds don't go to bed until almost 10 p.m.
That's
Oh, you just unconsciously fucking just hit a nail right on the head.
that is annoying.
So that now you have a way to fix it. You can instead of chicken, you can have cockatoo tomorrow.
I could. I'd end up in jail, but I could.
Well, no, you wouldn't go to jail
Really?
to eat a pet.
Why is it
Yeah.
not your? Is it not
The
your
family's birds. I didn't buy all these fucking birds. I'm not insane.
bird? Okay.
No, I'm just freeloading,
Maybe you
saving
can-
money.
Maybe you can feed them something so that they lose their voice, and that might be an alternative. You know, it might
Yeah,
be
like glue.
I could just
glue. Yes,
like
good
the rest.
idea. Super glue.
Well, that'll take away the voice.
well, we had.
I love it.
Have you ever seen those like stained glass sort of lamps
Yeah.
where it's like the dark, like
Tiffany.
lead? Yeah, we have a lot of those, and
Nice.
the birds used to bite them, and then one of them died. So what I'm thinking is I could just start chipping off little pieces of those lamp fucking solder
Why are
and
your
just
birds
start
actually
feeding it
flying
to all the
around?
birds.
Are the birds actually flying around freely
Some of them.
in your flat? Oh my
Some
God.
of them.
It is a madhouse.
It's not a flat. It's an actual full size home though. So
It's an
bad.
aviary.
It is a fucking aviary. Yes, it is.
Okay, get out of there, man. Get out of there.
Okay.
That's the
Why?
only thing I can advise.
There's
you know?
two cockatoos, a cockatiel,
my God.
two parrotlets, a Senegal parrot, a Kaik parrot, not a sun conure because that one's the one that died. Green cheek conure, a what the fuck is the name of that bird? No, there's just too many fucking birds.
Are your family ornithologists or something?
My family is fucking mentally ill, clearly.
Yeah, very clearly.
I mean, the birds are so fucking cute, and they're decent pets, but they're fucking annoying.
Yes.
We have a goose outside, like you know, we have several geese, but this one was a straggler. Like he was basically born through you know, one of those machines.
Right.
Eating.
Oh, I
you
was-
know,
I was
you put the eggs in them. Incubator. I just lost the word there for a second. And he's highly neurotic. He's now basically trained on my daughter. You know, with geese, it's really strange. The first thing they see, they think that's their mum.
Yeah.
So you can't put him with the other geese, you know, with the other young geese. And we got young ducks as well, and we tried to put them in with the ducks, and he was just freaking out, you know. The ducks were all going there, hey, who are you? And he was like, help, monsters, they're my size. They must be demons because they're too small. The only people I interact with are like on two legs, and they're 50 times bigger than I, you know. It's just, oh my God. And yeah, then we have to babysit him when she's at school, you know. And he has to always see a human, or otherwise he'll just constantly make noises. That's why, like, my rule is no birds in the house. It's just not healthy, you know. It's not sane. It's just not, like, you know, we're not designed for each other, especially musicians and birds, you know. If I had
Yeah.
like
My birds love music.
the Bulgarians, you know, fucking hate them.
Bulgarians.
Budgies.
Budgies.
Budgies. Those
Big giant slug.
extremely budgerigars came from Australia, by the way. Those fucking
They
extreme
should have stayed.
screeching parrots, miniature
Exactly.
parrots.
They
They're
should
not
have
even.
stayed there.
If you fry them, they're not even a tooth. You just get about a gram of meat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, but you have silence afterwards.
So I went back to the YouTube chat really quick, and they're just talking about how the Jews are not to be trusted and shit.
It's off
What?
topic.
That is off topic, and that is uncalled for. I'm not Jewish, but I am for Jewishness.
Whoa, ladies, off topic. You leave NC and Misty the asshole out of this.
I love Jews.
Ladies off topic.
God. NC is fantastic, but Misty just
Yes, she is.
abuses us all.
And see what one something or other. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I'm
Can
starting
see
to watch
numbers.
Missy's gaming streams now and enjoy them more and more, I must say.
Oh yeah, on the Ladies on Topic Discord, we were roasting her the other day because she
Oh,
was
Ladies on
playing Life is Strange, and then she got all triggered and butthurt, and it was an ordeal.
It was okay. I watched a bit of it today, actually. It was okay.
No, I didn't watch the stream at all, but that didn't stop us all from roasting her. We're doing our own shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Let me
know
just say
anyone,
that
sorry.
the whole shit was flooded with Life is Strange porn.
Okay.
It's like, enjoy this, motherfucker.
A lot of activity on the chat about Henry Ford not being a Nazi. I'm getting tired.
Henry Ford stole his cars from the black man. I think I actually read that somewhere not that long ago.
Oh yeah, well that must have been the same blog where you read that they were skanks and all that.
See, I don't think it was. That's the thing. I think it was actually someone trying to be academic and not just some fucking, like, weird, retarded,
Well,
melanin makes me in touch with God person.
The only thing Henry Ford did was, well, basically he invented the production line, not the production line, how do you call it? Assembly line, sorry, that's the word.
Yeah.
But cars, come on, man. The cars came from France. Germany already had cars.
Who's playing the guitar?
Not me, I can tell you that.
I didn't do it.
I don't have one.
Hear that?
There was some guitar music in the background. It wasn't.
Yeah, that was me, but
Oh,
I don't want you guys to hear that.
Yeah, I
Fuck
heard it,
off.
though. It's
You're all gonna
no,
die.
it's better than birds, I tell you.
Yeah,
It's
not a
good.
lot, no. I'm sorry,
I
that's
like it.
not me. Well, you have the okay from our residential musician.
Music fag.
Well, those are your words. I said musician.
Well,
I
fag
know.
is less derogatory.
Then
Music fag is a term of endearment.
It is?
yes, it is.
Okay, well, learn something new every day.
That's an electric guitar.
Yeah, I was playing it without the amp.
Yeah, I know, but I know that sound. That really kind of teeny sound that they make when you don't amp them.
Yeah. It's like, are you playing a
Nice.
banjo, motherfucker? No, I'm
You know-
playing. I have a story now because I am playing a purple Squire guitar right now.
All right.
I'm
I
too
was
lazy to
supposed
restring
ask.
the good one. However, this is not my guitar. This is just the one I'm playing because I'm too lazy to string the one with the Floyd Rose.
oh, stop making me jealous, man. I wish I could play guitar. Jeez.
Yeah, me too. Too
Well,
many
I can play
strings.
guitar. That's
But
not
I have an
problem.
interesting comment to make
I
about
can't
this
play it
guitar.
good.
I have two right hands. I can't coordinate them. They both mirror of each other. What does one does, the other one does. Exactly. I can't separate them.
I have two anuses, and they keep me up at night because they both have to shit.
Two anuses.
Okay, but the fun fact about this guitar right now is that the person who actually owns this guitar, she is now taking male hormones to become a he and has a Tumblr blog.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Ah, yep.
Oh,
Well,
look at
that's
the
too
bright
bad.
side. If she gets, he's going to become a she, right?
No, she is becoming a he.
A he.
Gonna have a big old clitty.
Oh, it
And
still
she's
won't
just
be
as
gay
mentally
if you
ill as
fuck
you'd
her.
imagine.
Hey, it still won't be homosexuality if you fuck her.
No, yeah, but she's not fucking anybody because she's really mentally ill.
No, absolutely. I joke, and I
Yeah.
will always joke. I
No,
won't apologize for the most sickest jokes. Never. And it's never too soon to make a joke of anything. Ooh, you play well, man. That's cool.
Well, you play better than I do.
No, I don't fucking.
Yeah, you do.
That's the most basic fucking chords, and I can't play rhythm guitar at all because I just get flashy and drunk.
You're still playing better than I do. Count your blessings. Anyway, guys, we're not really talking about anything. We're just waiting for the time to go on. So, shall we call it a closure?
Absolutely,
so.
whatever you want, man.
Because I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming then, and hopefully next time we will have a more fulfilling talk about, I don't know what we'll talk about. The planning today was to talk about religion and the Western culture, but the people that wanted to do the talk couldn't come, so maybe that'll be next week. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone in the chat for coming. Hope to see you all next time, and I'd like to thank Augusto. Oh, fucking
Augusto Pinochet.
Thank you, Augusto Pinochet.
Free helicopter rides for people who don't know words.
And then, of course, thanks, Real Raven, for staying, even though you didn't plan to do that. And once again, Carlos, thank you for coming as well. Do you?
I'm deeply honored as always. You know that.
Well, I'm glad to have you, mate. I really am. Do you guys want to say something yourself to finish off today's stream?
Who?
Any one of you three?
Yeah.
Go on.
Listen to the latest mix on Lana Leish's channel about Lacy Green.
Okay.
I made the mix for her, so check it out.
Anyone else? Carlos, you?
I'm on the fence with Lacy Green. I don't care about the skeptic feminists' murder. They happened regularly every day, everywhere in the world. So just because we sort of know them, they're not more special than anyone else. And I love you guys. That's about it.
Okay, Pinochet.
No homo.
R.I.P. for everyone that we
Obviously.
in Uganda last year. That shit's brutal.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear half of what you said there. Try again.
Tuesday 9/11.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's all, then I think we're going to call it a quits for tonight. Bye, everyone. Everyone is bye, Psycho. Yes, okay, I can live with that.
Bye, everyone.
See you later, mate.